Not sure if you can tell, but it is snowing. Pretty cool. So we are here at the BK Lounge because there's not a Burger King super close to me in DC, or at least not that I know of. Lock the door for safety and stuff. And I really want some chicken fries. I was so disappointed in the spicy chicken fries. I think they're better than regular ones, but they're not spicy at all. You know how when you leave like a Chick-fil-A or a Chipotle, 99% of the time you're like, I am satisfied, that was a delicious meal. Not the case with Burger King. Chicken fries are delicious, but I've always thought chicken fry or Burger King's regular fries sucked hard. Like their French fries suck hard. Yeah. Going into the outlets, hopefully to find some cool button downs. If not, I drove 30 minutes for nothing. I'm not really a fan of Lacoste. I have one Lacoste watch which I really like, but as far as their clothes, nah, I don't like the alligator. Crocodile, I don't know the difference. J. Crew, I do like. All of the chinos that I wear are J. Crew's, but keep in mind that I think this is because it's at an outlet. That's a J. Crew factory outlet, and a lot of their clothes are different than the actual J. Crew, so you can't get like the 484s at the J. Crew factory. They have like the factory version, I think. I think I'm saying that right. One thing about Brooks Brothers, a lot of their stuff is, even when it says slim fit, it's really big. That's why I don't have a lot of Brooks Brothers shirts, is because look how big this arm sleeve is for a 50.5. I don't know my bicep measurements, but I know it ain't that. I mean, that's huge. So you want shirts to really be fitted. You know, we can get them custom or tailored, but that's why I really like Ralph Lauren Polo, because the cut on the shirts is really, really nice, at least to my special body. I do like the Brooks Brothers belts though, so I have this one, which is cool because it has the stitching on it. It's a dark brown belt, and the light brown version. I have both of these. One thing with belts is generally, for an everyday belt, I get one that's like barely wider than my thumb. If you go too wide, it's gonna be too casual, and I generally don't go for like really glossy. There's not that much gloss over here, but I stick with like a matte finish like this, matte finish like that. Keep it right around your thumb width, and you're good to go. So if you guys think that I say dumb stuff all the time, again, half the time it's on purpose, the other half is not. But like, for example, this place called Matchbox, I think of like dumb stuff to myself that I wish people around me so I could say dumb stuff too. So if someone's like, hey, you wanna go to Matchbox? I would be like, no, sorry, I don't smoke. And they'd be like, what? That is what goes on in my itty bitty little brain. Okay, call me a super frat bro and like super generic clothing. I really like Ralph Lauren. I've been around it for like ever, obviously, because everyone wore it in high school and everyone still wears it. I like their stuff. Sometimes it can be too expensive. That's why I always go to outlets. I don't think I've ever purchased a button down at full price, ever. Ever. So I like the preppy look, but you'll never see me wear this. Or that. So these are super cool, as you can tell, because I'm wearing it, right? I call them like waffle shirts. They're technically sleepwear, but I don't wear them to sleep. I really, really like them, so I'm gonna snag a dark navy blue one, because they're really, really comfortable, the material. Look, you can even get them in t-shirts. Who would... It says sleepwear. No. You can wear anything you want at any point, at any time. It's always interesting to me when I go to the malls and I go to like kiosks and there's like the bathtub kiosk. Who's walking around the mall and is like, you know what I wanted to buy today? A new bathtub. Thank goodness that there was a kiosk in the middle of the mall for a new bathtub. That's not the scariest thing I've ever seen. So, kind of unsuccessful shopping trip. I got 2 shirts. They had like no button downs that I liked at all, so I'm pretty bummed about that. The hunt continues. I really could go for a nice smoothie right now. This person has a scrotum hanging from the bottom of their car. Truck nuts are so in right now. Also, that was a lady driving the car with the truck nuts hanging from the bottom. Okay. All right, so we got like a strawberry sunrise or something. It's like pineapple, mango, strawberries. And what I did as a pro tip is if you ever get a smoothie, you can they put sugar in them, so you can either get no sugar or I get Splenda instead of the sugar. And then we have some spinach in here. So let's do a taste test. Ooh. Ah. So I think I used that for the thumbnail, but I actually was drinking for some reason. Like I couldn't just pose it, I kept drinking. So cold. You're not drinking it fast enough, Harry, you gotta drink it faster. What movie is that from? Okay, it is 9 o'clock, and on Sundays I've kind of created a tradition for myself, and that is ordering a delicious pizza. And the last time I ordered a pizza in this, you saw in the video, I talked about the peppers, right? Well, Papa John's must have been watching the video because they decided that they're just gonna put them on there. Now they're gonna, oh, that is in there. Oh, dang it. Some people were upset that I dissed the garlic sauce. I'm not about that life, guys. I also don't think that I can eat this whole pizza right now. Yum, sausage pepperoni. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so this will be the last time that I mention how like happy I am, but again, the secret spot, that is my new parking spot. Used to be over by that church over there. Not no mo. Not no mo. It is freezing. On my Snapchat today, I was like talking about how cold it was, and then everyone in different countries and stuff started snapping me like the temperatures, aka making me look like a little pansy boy. So it's like in the low 20s right now, but this wind chill, whoo, doggy. Tonight's variation of choice is the floor press. Always working on that top half movement. Last time I did this was 290 pounds, 295. Let's get it. One, two, three. Are you up? Thanks, man. All right, so 295 pounds. That is a 5-pound PR from the last time we did this. One thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record the rest of my workout, okay? And kind of over top of it, I'm gonna do a voiceover. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm about to do because I'm thinking about it now. I'm gonna do a voiceover, but I'm also gonna put on the screen kind of my progress. So I'm gonna show you my notepad in my phone is where I track every time that I successfully hit a new variation PR, I track it. I've been tracking it since I believe August. So you're gonna see on the screen, I'm gonna talk to you about it as you watch my secondary footage so we can kind of discuss my progress and my thoughts about conjugate and how I train and getting strong as hell. Okay, so on the screen here you see all of the variations that I have done ever since August, and these are showing all the improvements. So every time that I improve on a maximum effort, I log it, and I've been doing it for a few months now. I probably should have started doing it as soon as I started this program, but the biggest thing you'll notice is like how diverse this method, this conjugate style of training is, because you'll see all these variations, and some of these you may have not done, some of these may have not seen before. There are still variations out there that I have not done that I plan on adding. But how I go about choosing my variations, so on the maximum effort uppers, I do a different one every single week. And then the lowers, it's kind of a little spread out because I alternate squats and deadlifts. So I do a maximum effort deadlift variation, every 2 weeks, and a squat variation every 2 weeks. So if you see any on here, you have any questions about, leave them down below. I'll try to get to them. But I'll basically just choose variation that I haven't done in a while, and I'll try to make, a 5-pound increase, obviously, at minimum. And I really have been making these 5-pound jumps for a good amount of time. So it's almost like every single time I go into the gym, I'm doing some sort of variation and I'm hitting like some sort of PR. So I'm almost PRing every single time I go into the gym because I'm only going up by like 5 pounds, and I am perfectly fine with that. I am perfectly fine with making 5-pound jumps on a variation every few weeks, because you need to understand that your strength at some point, however whatever your caloric intake is, how your lifestyle is, what you do for work, like your strength gains are going to come to not only like they're going to slow down, it's going to come to a screeching halt at some point. And you want to be making progress for as long as possible, because you're never going to get stronger forever. Like, you're not going to be deadlifting. Everyone's not going to be deadlifting 1,000 pounds. I've said this before. So why would you want to hit that plateau faster? So that's why, like, I don't mind hitting these little baby 5-pound PRs every single time, because every single time I'm like, it's making me even happier going into the gym. And I think the biggest thing that I love about the conjugate style of training is just like the diversity. You see all the variations. So it's almost every single workout, it's not the same movement, and I'm just trying to get like one more rep. So if you have any questions about my training style or the way that I think and the way that I do it, leave it down below. I'll try to get to all you guys, but enjoy the rest of the video. So it is 19 degrees outside, getting colder. I can't imagine living somewhere where it gets like in the negatives. I cannot imagine that. Like, I don't mind the cold because I like jackets and stuff, but when it's like miserably freezing, it's like, At least if it was snowing, it'd be a little different. I digress. So today we hit 20 million views on YouTube, which is so amazing. And it kind of made me reminisce and like think back to when I started and how like far that I've come in terms of just like growing as an individual, growing as a YouTube channel, YouTube personality, or whatever you want to call me, and just how much YouTube has changed everything in my life. It's the best decision I ever made was meeting Nick Wright and him convincing me to pick up this camera, because it's my favorite thing to do. Making videos and editing is such a passion of mine, and I've had my fair share of like negativity and haters, and I see a lot of people come and go on YouTube where they start a channel and they just give up, or it fails, they don't put the effort into it, and another thing that I see is people who get negativity on their channel. I kind of just like monitor, right? Because I never get into drama. That's the one thing, if you get into YouTube, don't get into drama. If you ever get involved in drama, ignore it, because it will go away. Trust me, as long as you know that what you're doing is right and what you're doing is pure and you're being true to yourself. That's kind of lame, right? But that's the truth. But there's always going to be haters in everything you do, especially when you put yourself out there on social media. I mean, YouTube is a subscription thing. Like, people are choosing to subscribe to people that they like dislike their videos. Like, someone's like, I'm having a great day, notification. Oh my god, that Max kid that I subscribed to uploaded a video. Wow, oh, my day is ruined. Got to go on there and dislike that. So you can put out the most positive content. You always have negative people in like your life, whether it be YouTube or whatever you do. There's gonna be people that just hate on you for absolutely no reason. So push on with that and continue with your passion, continue with what you love to do, and I promise the haters will go away eventually because they get bored if you don't feed the trolls. So don't ever feed the trolls. And there's a really good quote, and I believe it was by Thomas Jefferson, and it said, and I got the haters like, when will he stop? Maybe a minute after never, set your clocks. Thomas Jefferson or Lil Wayne, one of the two. But yeah, if you guys have a passion for something and you want to pursue it, don't let negativity overtake it, because if I let that happen, trust me, I would not be 20 million views deep right now and continue to put out content on a very consistent basis to all you guys. So I appreciate all of you for watching and supporting over the past like 2.5 years that I've been doing this, and I promise to continue to put out content, and whatever enjoyment you get from watching my videos, I'm gonna keep doing that. I promise. Ever forward, guys. All right, head home. Hope you enjoyed the video. We out.